Have you ever wondered why the more humans have, the more incomplete we often feel? We buy something new, achieve a goal, receive recognition, and for a brief moment, happiness appears. But soon, that feeling fades away. A new desire emerges, a new anxiety begins. It seems there is a hidden mechanism inside the human mind that keeps us endlessly chasing something ahead. More than 2,500 years ago, a young prince in ancient India discovered this cycle and spent his entire life searching for a way out. His name was Siddhartha Gautama, later known to the world as the Buddha. But his journey did not begin inside a cave or a silent temple. Siddhartha was born inside a palace, surrounded by wealth and comfort most people could only dream of. His father wanted to protect him from suffering, creating a perfect world around him. No sickness, no aging, no death. An artificial paradise where every uncomfortable truth was hidden away. But truth has a strange quality. No matter how long we avoid it, eventually it finds a way to appear. When Siddhartha finally left the palace, the outside world transformed him forever. He saw an old person, someone suffering from illness, and someone who had died. These ordinary sights for us today became the first cracks in his perfect dream. He realized that the life he knew was only a small fragment of reality. From that moment, Siddhartha became obsessed with a question greater than ordinary ambition. If everything we love can change or disappear, can humans discover a kind of happiness that does not depend on external circumstances? Is there a peace that aging, loss, and failure cannot destroy? This question transformed a prince into one of the most influential thinkers in human history. Siddhartha made a decision that shocked everyone. He left behind his palace, status, and a life millions would desire. But he did not leave because he rejected the world. He left because he wanted to understand why even those who have everything still suffer. For years, he studied with spiritual teachers, practiced extreme discipline, meditated deeply, and observed his own mind, almost like a scientist studying the nature of human consciousness. But after years of searching, Siddhartha discovered something unexpected. The answer was not found in having everything, nor in abandoning everything. He had experienced both extremes, the absolute luxury of palace life and the severe discipline of an ascetic. Yet neither path brought true freedom. He began to realize that the problem was not the outside world, but the way our minds react to it. Observe our own minds. When we desire something, we often think, "Once I get this, I will finally be happy." A better job, a bigger house, more money, more recognition. But after achieving it, the mind quickly adapts and creates another goal. The Buddha described this endless cycle as craving, a psychological hunger that is never truly satisfied. Thousands of years later, modern science discovered something surprisingly similar. The human brain did not evolve mainly to keep us permanently happy. It evolved to help us survive. Every achievement creates only a temporary feeling of satisfaction before the brain pushes us toward the next pursuit. The same mechanism that helped our ancestors survive often makes modern humans feel incomplete. This became the center of the Buddha's first teaching. Life contains dissatisfaction. Not because life is only suffering, but because everything we try to hold on to is constantly changing. Youth changes, success changes, relationships change. Even our emotions and thoughts appear and disappear like clouds passing through the sky. But the Buddha's most important discovery was not simply that life involves suffering. Most people already knew that. The revolutionary idea was that we can understand the mechanism behind suffering, and by understanding it, we can transform our relationship with our own thoughts and emotions. Freedom does not come from controlling the world, but from understanding the mind. Under a tree in ancient northern India, Siddhartha sat down and decided to observe the one thing humans often try to escape: his own mind. Instead of chasing every thought, every fear, or every desire that appeared, he simply watched them arise and disappear. And within that deep silence, he discovered something that could completely change how we understand ourselves. We usually believe there is a fixed self inside us, an unchanging person controlling everything. But through deep observation, the Buddha realized that what we call ourselves is actually a continuous flow of memories, emotions, thoughts, and experiences. Like a river, it exists, but the water inside it is never the same. This idea may sound strange, but it offers a powerful kind of freedom. If thoughts are simply events appearing in the mind, we do not have to become prisoners of them. A negative thought does not define who you are. A painful emotion is not your entire life. They are temporary waves on the surface of a much larger ocean. This is why meditation became central to the Buddha's path, not as a way to escape reality or force the mind to become empty. Meditation is the practice of seeing clearly, recognizing thoughts as thoughts, emotions as emotions, and discovering the quiet awareness behind all of these movements. More than 2,000 years later, these ideas have returned in a new form. Modern psychology studies attention, awareness, and how humans relate to their own thoughts. Many mental training methods today are based on a principle very close to what the Buddha discovered. We cannot always control what happens, but we can change how we respond to it. Perhaps the reason the Buddha's story remains powerful after more than 2,500 years is because the world has changed dramatically. But the human mind has not changed as much as we imagine. Today, we no longer live inside ancient palaces, but we build new ones made of likes, achievements, possessions, and comparisons. We have more tools than ever to get what we want, yet we often remain trapped by the same question: why is it still not enough? Every day, billions of people open their phones searching for a small feeling of validation, a new notification, a new compliment, a new goal to achieve. But the Buddha might ask us a different question. What if, instead of constantly trying to add more things to our lives, we spent a moment understanding why we feel incomplete in the first place? Siddhartha's greatest lesson was not that we must abandon ambition, possessions, or the pleasures of life. He did not find peace by escaping the world. He found it by changing his relationship with the world. The difference is between owning something and being owned by it. Desire itself is not the problem. Becoming a prisoner of desire is what takes away our freedom. After years of searching outside himself, Siddhartha finally discovered that the answer was hidden in the place humans rarely examine, inside the mind itself. We can explore distant planets, build enormous cities, and create incredible technologies. But perhaps the most difficult journey is learning to understand the one who experiences all of it, ourselves. More than 2,000 years ago, a prince left his palace searching for the cause of suffering. But what he discovered was not just an answer for his own time, it was a question that still belongs to all of us today. If happiness is not hidden in the next thing you achieve? What happens when you stop long enough to look within yourself?